We'll work that out. Okay, friends, it's time. We have waited with bated breath for Andrea to join us, and we need to wait no longer. Here she is. Everyone, welcome Andrea. Woo-hoo!
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. You are such a joy, and it's honestly such an honor to be a part of this.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay, so friends, let me give you a little background. Andrea has a fabulous YouTube channel. Here, I'm put up the link right here because I made sure to put all the things. There we go, right there. Yay! And I think we both started channels similar timing, right? Wasn't
I
that
believe
right?
so. Yeah, I started pretty much right in the beginning of the pandemic. Unfortunately, it wasn't like it's kind of synchronous in a way. You know, we're in a period where a lot of us had free time, unfortunately, and I ended up using that free time to start my channel.
Start your
So,
channel.
yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so tell everyone kind of how you got into weaving because this is a great story.
Sure. So I have always kind of been crafty and creative. Like I'm very fortunate to have parents that were very encouraging of like working with our hands.
Love
But
that.
I found myself kind of going down the path of a more scientific career. But even in doing so, I always had the crafts. Like I always kept that going in some capacity. And I was working in biology. I was working actually at an exotic animal / bird hospital. And there was a big announcement locally in San Francisco where I was living at the time that the community colleges were now going to be completely free, which was just amazing.
That's
So,
remarkable. Love
yeah,
that.
so my friends and I were like looking through the catalogs. We're like, "Oh, let's like take a fun class. Like after work, we can like, go do this like fun activity together."
Yeah.
And one of my friends was like, "What about weaving?" And we all kind of looked at each other like, "Sure?" Like I don't I'd always kind of been like fiber inclined, like just like I learned how to knit at a young age and I love to sew, like my sister and I would make plush animals together as
Oh,
kids.
sweet.
Yeah, so I've always loved like fiber and textiles, but this like weaving suggestion was just so out of left field. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Like, let's go have this new experience. And I just like
Weird
totally
enough.
fell in love. Yeah, I totally fell in love. It was just one of those like introductory weaving courses where we were just like making a sampler and like, learning how to use like treadles and how to use a warping board and, just a basic introductory course. And I was absolutely hooked. It was so much fun.
Nice. Now, so how did you get into kind of all the I know the Sayori, all of that
Yeah,
kind of
kind of
how
like
did that progress then?
yeah. So what ended up happening, unfortunately, was like I took that weaving 1 class
Yeah.
and I got really excited about it. I was like, oh my God, there's a weaving 2 and a weaving 3 and a
Yeah.
weaving 4, and I want to do all of them.
Right.
But then, like literally halfway through the semester of my weaving 1,
Yeah.
the teacher came and was just like, hey, so the department is closing down completely the weaving program, which was just like devastating. Like the campus has such a stunning weaving studio, tons of looms, tons of yarns, tons of resources and equipment, and they just got rid of all of it, which was horrible. So I was like, okay, I really like this craft now. Like, how can I keep doing this? And that's where I found Jill Sanders of Sayori Santa Cruz, which it's about like 2 hours south of San Francisco. So it was a little bit of a trek, but it was so worth it because she's just like such an incredible teacher for both spinning and weaving. And so that kind of took me down the like more creative weaving path, like kind of doing things a little more expressively, a little more freestyle, a little more wabi-sabi. And then I was also taking these spinning classes from her because Jill is an amazing art yarn spinner. And I was like, I need to learn this from you. So huge shout out to Jill. And
shout out to Jill.
Yeah, so that like put me in this headspace and this place of like, oh, creative, fun, expressive, rule-free weaving. And I was just like, that was it. Yes. I knew I found it. Yeah, and so she actually ended up, because she was a studio, she had like a network of people. And I kind of told her, I was like, hey, if you hear of like a secondhand loom at any point, like if someone is trying to sell their loom, can you please contact me? And she ended up getting me a really good deal on a secondhand loom. It was really like one of the only ways I could get my hands on one of these. Right. And it's my baby. It's my pride and joy. I will never get rid of that thing.
Amazing. What kind of loom is it?
So it's a Sayori WX60, I believe is the numbers. So it's a wooden loom. It folds kind of like a lawn chair.
Yeah.
And it's 2 harnesses. So plain weave only, but I'm more than happy with that. That's all I need, honestly, to be happy.
Yeah. Well, I know that one of the things that has attracted to you from the start is that you have a really kind of loose, fun, creative way about you. And I think that in so many cases, and there's no, there's no better or worse. However, there's so many weavers that are very much like, okay, this is the plan, and I'm going to not deviate from the plan. And this is exactly the way it's going to go. And I love watching you, just like the one you did for your birthday, where you're like, I just put on some yarn and these are my favorite colors and I'm going to do what I feel like. And it's fabulous. And it always turns out beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I have a tendency to set like certain parameters for myself. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I know I want this to be, I want this to be a cowl, and
Yeah.
these are the yarns that I'm going to use.
Yeah.
And then when I'm actually like sitting at the loom, I just like have a party. Like I just throw the shuttle however I want, and I like to follow like little kind of mental rhythms in my head of like, okay, I'm going to do maybe like a couple inches of this kind of repeat that I'm just going to come up with on the spot. And then another couple inches of this kind of repeat. Like let's say a little stripe where it's 2 inches. And then maybe now I'll do 3 inches. And then maybe now I'll do a little block of something. And I find that I just like fall into rhythms mentally and just pursue these little tiny, almost like little sketches or like little studies across a project. Mm-hmm. But because it's like unified by color, it looks a little less kooky. I don't know. It's still pretty kooky. My stuff, I know my stuff's kind of out there, but
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah, you can kind of see that. Maybe
I was going to say, you made this.
I wanted to, do a little repeat, just see how it looks. And then I did like a little stripe or something. And then, I just have fun.
Well, but I think too, that there's a certain kind of, you have to be comfortable with whatever happens. Like that kind of, so that you have to kind of go into it without a complete plan. And for some people that's really terrifying. So I mean my audience knows that I'm always like, you need a little time to play, you need a little time just to throw it in and see what happens. Doesn't have to be the whole project, but you need a little time to do that. So the fact that you're so comfortable and that's part of your style anyways, you're like, I'm gonna set a few rules and then we'll just see where the fiber gods take me, like that. I mean,
for me, like being at the loom is my playtime. Like I don't want to follow like a pattern. I don't want to follow a recipe. I don't want to do anything. I just want to play. Like that's to me what's so exciting about weaving is that for me it's just a playground. So I just like embracing that completely. And like sometimes I'll try to follow a pattern and like do a consistent repeat the whole time. Like I recently did a scarf where I really liked how it looked to do like my little sample, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that the entire time. I was bored to tears.
I was gonna say, are we done yet? Are we done yet?
Yeah, like halfway through, I was like, oh, am I gonna do something silly here? Am I gonna start like adding holes and like doing all kinds of tapestry stuff that I love to do? But then I was like, no, come on, like you like the look of this, like just stick to it. But I was so painfully bored, like truthfully. So that's kind of like a balance I have to strike sometimes. It's like, I love these like expressive, like hand woven kooky things, but I also do sometimes like a repeating pattern.
Sure.
But I don't like
for a short while
doing the repeating pattern. For like I could not do like 6 yards of the same thing over and over again. Like my brain just doesn't work that way. And I have so much respect for people who can do that. Not at all trying to like say that that's like invalid or anything like that. Right. It's just I need the chaos.
I totally
need to like that. I think for me it's like the ability to make a decision. I think I need that. Yeah. It's like I need
room.
Exactly.
You need space to change your mind as often as you want.
Exactly. Yes. And to try something and be like, what if I did this?
Exactly. Now, what is your piece on the wall behind you? That is stunning.
Oh, this one.
Yes.
So this one I actually made. It was really early in my weaving journey. I actually had the really amazing opportunity to go to Saori no Mori, which is the Saori headquarters in Japan with my mom. So that was a really stunning experience. We spent 2 weeks there learning all about Saori weaving directly from Kenzo Joe himself, who was the designer of the Saori loom. So really beautiful experience. And this is one of the pieces that I made when I was there. It was actually the last piece I made on my trip. I was like so tired at that point. After 2 weeks of like intensive weaving and study, I was like, I just want to throw the shuttle. So it's a clasp weft 2-color interlocking technique where one section is just white and then the other, like the top, I just changed out the colors kind of whenever I felt like it. And my goal was to kind of create like a paint dripping. Like I wanted it to look
totally looks like that. Yes.
Thank you. I wanted it to just look like kind of bleeding and blending. And it just kind of lives on my studio now. It's 100% silk because they were having like a silk week celebration.
Yes.
And I was like, I need a silk piece from this.
That's amazing. Now, I know one of the things I thought, and I didn't follow all the videos, but I watched so many of them when your experience at FIT, which was, and you were there, was it a couple years?
I was there, it was 3 years total.
3 years
with
total.
one semester in Scotland.
Wow. Okay, so what were some of the big takeaways you had from that? Because I know you had classes in everything. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah,
just
so
weaving, it was all the fiber and oh, so much fun.
yeah, it was a lot. It was so the program I was in was called Textile and Surface Design.
Okay,
So I will say a lot of the program fell into the like surface design category,
got
which
it.
is essentially print and pattern. So like any
Yeah.
kind of like either digitally printed or screen printed design, which we would usually either hand paint or hand paint and then scan in and bring into digital software to
Okay.
create repeats.
Okay.
And so that was a big part of our program. But
Yeah.
then one class every semester was dedicated to some kind of weaving,
Okay.
which I, of course, loved.
Like,
And
yes.
that was so much fun because they really like started us from the beginning. And by the end of the program, we like really went advanced. So we
Wow.
started with 4 harnesses
Okay.
and it was purely on, because this was 2021, right
Exactly.
after the pandemic.
Right. Okay.
So the department was a little nervous that we might have to go back into lockdown. So they had us on those Structo table looms, like the little
Okay.
metal guys,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in case we'd have to bring them home.
Oh,
So
got it. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
so we
Makes sense.
started on those and it was 4 harnesses, no computers, like purely just like on the looms.
Yeah.
Then we went to, I believe it was 8 harnesses
Okay.
with computers. So like learning how to
Oh.
create digital weave drafts and
Okay.
using industry software. The software is called Point Carré.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then we kind of, I'm trying to think now. We moved up to, I think it was 24 harnesses was next, I think. I don't know if there's something in between, but it was 24 harness compy jobbies, like
Oh,
the AVLs. So that was really fun because it was like
wow.
combining technology with the technological loom, which I had an absolute blast with that, even though the looms themselves were pretty hard to use and a total beast to thread. That was
I can't
like,
imagine.
we had to thread it because we're all new to it. That was like our first time on an AVL, and we had deadlines, so we all paired up so that you'd have one person handing the thread across,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the other person grabbing it and putting through the heddle. So we did it in pairs like that, and I will say that made it easier, but it was an absolute beast, and that was so much fun. And then we did a jacquard course, which
Ooh.
that was like one of my favorite classes at FIT.
Wow.
It was all digital software for the most part. We used a bunch of different programs that are being actively used in the industry. So it was supposed to train us for that.
Yeah.
And then we created our design collections and our main print. We had the chance to send that off to MTL and they wove a yard of our main design for each of us, which was so cool. So I have that piece. It is like my treasure. It's in storage right now, but I did this like absolutely ridiculous fish print because I just needed some humor in that moment. Like,
yes,
school's really stressful.
It's intense.
Yeah,
yes,
it's intense. And that program is really intense. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was super intense.
Yeah.
And so that was a moment where I was like, I just need to open the computer and see something that makes me laugh and makes me smile.
Yes.
So I made this like
whimsy.
I made this like ridiculous fish print with just like, grumpy faces, and now I have it like
That's awesome.
woven by a mill, and it's my treasure. So that was kind of our like progression in terms of weaving at FIT. And then I also had the opportunity to go to Scotland for a semester to specifically focus on weaving there. And I have all of this fully documented on my YouTube channel. If anyone watching wants to check that out.
Absolutely. Yes.
I literally made weekly videos for every single week of my school experience. So you can see like how
I was so impressed. You were so vigilant about keeping this on. It was amazing. Yes.
There were moments where it'd be like a long time between uploads and you could tell it was like my thesis, like my like critique week or my like, finals. And I'm like, I can't do YouTube right now. But for the most part, I documented everything. So Scotland in particular, I'm really proud of those videos. I feel like it was so much fun to share that with everybody. But we got to use these like 100-plus-year-old Dobby looms, 16 harness Dobby looms, which were just such an insane piece of equipment. Because like you literally had to, like if I wanted to change my pattern on the Dobby mechanism, I would have to go find a ladder, get the ladder, bring it to the loom, climb to the top of the loom, unhook the Dobby mechanism, bring it down, and then unpick all the pegs that designate my pattern, hammer in my new design, get back on the ladder, bring it all the way to the top, and reinstall it. And that was like anytime you wanted to change your pattern. So like, we're students, we're experimenting, we're exploring. At one moment I want a 2-2-12, one moment I want plain weave.
Yeah.
That would take like an hour to change your pattern. It was a lot, but it was so much fun. And it was so loud in the studio from everyone just like hammering and like these big looms. But I that was such an amazing experience. It was great.
That is incredible. And what a unique, like, even if you could go back to Scotland, you're not going to have that experience again. I mean, that's really,
it was
so
like
special.
really a privilege to be able to use that kind of equipment there. Like I'm really lucky that program exists.
Yes.
And it was cool. That was my first time ever really diving into warp painting and warp dyeing too.
Ooh,
Yeah, so that was my like because they had an amazing dye studio, and I was like, oh, I want to take advantage of this.
that's for me.
Yeah, so something I did. I'm mentioning this just because you guys had this amazing tartan that you showed. So I did a lot of like tartan inspired designs or like kind of plaid repeats for my project. And something I did was I just threaded a section of my loom with white, like pure white warp, and then I painted in the plaid repeats for each sample. Because we're only making one warp for every semester. I didn't want to commit to like one plaid and then just kind of be stuck with that the whole time. So I did white and I just painted in the plaid. And then wove off my sample and then did a different plaid and then a different plaid and a different plaid.
Nice. You're like, I can outsmart the system here.
It was fun. I mean, I learned so much doing that, like just through constantly painting and constantly changing my design. Like it was a really fun experience.
I love that. That is awesome. So you your YouTube channel is up and running and you have all kinds of exciting things coming up, including you are going to be teaching at Convergence. Tell our people about how they can go take a class with you.
Yes, so if you all are coming to Convergence, I have 2 classes that I'm offering that I'm so excited about, and both of them are collaborations with other people in my life who've been amazingly influential and amazing to collaborate with. So the first class that I'm doing is all about content creation and how making content can be an extension of your fiber practice and your textile practice.
Love it.
And this is a collaboration with Unique Astrid. You might know her, Astrid Tauber. She's amazing. She's on Instagram. And
Lori's going crazy in the background. She's like, yes, I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's like 15 and is really kicking butt on Instagram and making really, really, really stunning weavings. And so the 2 of us, we met at Convergence last year. Yeah, it was last year, right? 2 years, yes. And we kind of like, we're like, oh, we follow each other. She's on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. Like, let's come together and just like share our experiences of making content together. So that's one of my classes. We're calling it Content Creation for Creatives.
Oh, love it.
Love
a good alliteration.
Yeah, just because content creation is so much fun. And I mean, you know, of course,
yes,
it's definitely for me an extension of my textile practice because like video editing, photography, like taking photos and videos and learning how to do all of those like kind of technological things is also an art.
It is, and for sure.
It also becomes a way to like reflect and refine on your textile art because you're like literally watching yourself make stuff and trying to like communicate to other people what it is you're doing and how you're doing it. And it's just like a really cool process. And I want to encourage more people to like give that a try because it's been such a wonderful part of my life.
And don't you find that when you have to talk about your work, that it you really sink in and understand it better? Like, like there's something about the fact if you're just at home weaving on your own, that's wonderful. However, the second you have to show it to someone else and explain, that is a different level of really. Like I have become so much smarter since I had a YouTube channel because I'm like, oh, all these facts, like all these things. I'm like, am I saying this right? Is this,
exactly. And I also feel like there's something so interesting about like, okay, I'm starting this project. I have to explain what I'm thinking.
Yes.
And then I have to explain while I'm doing it. And then when I'm editing, I'm watching myself do it again. And then when I post about it and share it, it's another way to like process the experience that you just had, like on the loom or like whatever it is you're doing. So I like those like layers of reflecting and refining and explaining and figuring out like, wait, what was I thinking in that moment? Right. Yeah. Especially for me, because I'm doing all these kind of like improv weaving things. Like you might notice in a lot of my videos, I'm voiceovering the parts where I'm actually weaving because I want to be like in it and then kind of like analyze it later. I don't know.
No. I totally get it. I absolutely understand. Yeah. So what's the second class you're teaching?
So the second class I'm teaching is with my friend Suzanne Person of Wabi Sabi Weaving in San Diego, which if you've been following my channel, you see I've made a bunch of vlogs with her, hanging out at her studio.
Nice.
It's all about sewing with your hand-woven fabrics. So the idea with this class is that you bring your beautiful piece of hand-woven fabric and you will leave the class with a stunning jacket. And it's actually the jacket I'm wearing right now. Yeah. So this is one of the ones using a pattern that I created that I'll be sharing with you guys. And it's essentially just like dipping your toes in the idea of sewing with your fabrics and making something that you can actually like wear and be super proud of. And yeah, it's going to be a really fun time. And I love the thought because this class is actually happening right at the beginning of the conference.
Oh, good.
It's going to be so fun for everyone to like make their jackets, and then you have
Wear
something to wear the rest of the week.
You can wear it to the fashion show. They can be.
Oh,
like,
yes.
I made the whole thing top to bottom.
It's such a wonderful feeling. It's so wonderful when you like work so hard on a fabric and then you can like put it on your body and be like, I made this.
Yes. Well, and you're so good at that. I think that there's so many times when you're like, I made this scarf, I made this jacket. Like that's one of the things that you're really, you make it seem like it's very achievable. Like you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a complicated pattern. It doesn't have to be this like, crazy fitted thing. You're like, no, couple seams here. And you just do it. You're like, I'm just gonna go for it. Which so many weavers are like, oh my God, I'm gonna cut my fabric. And you're like, yeah, cut it.
That's cutting a fabric, I will say, is always gonna kind of be a little bit freaky to me. Like even after so many years of cutting my own fabrics, I still always have the moment of like having to hype myself up before making the first cut. Usually I'll lay my fabric out on the ground so I can decide like where I'm gonna make my cuts, and I will just like paste. And I'm like, oh, do I actually?
I'm just gonna think about it for a minute.
So that feeling never goes away. Even if I look confident on camera, like there's always that like, I like, you're so sweet. But there's always that feeling of just like, oh man. But I think that like for me, I love doing these like really simple patterns where like I don't know how well you can honestly see it, but lots of boxy rectangular shapes so that like I personally am not cutting super precise curves and having to sew really complex seams, and like my finishes are all really simple. It's nothing super like tailored or highly technical. Because I feel like, if someone's like learning how to sew with their handwovens for the first time, it's really easy to get turned off when you see these like extremely technical procedures. It can make people not want to sew garments in the first place sometimes. You know what I mean? So
like, I'm never gonna be able to do that. And you're like, you can.
Yeah, you can. And like, so I wanted to provide an experience that's like really accessible. And this jacket is the way I designed the pattern. It is fully customizable to your size. So whether you want something super tight fitting or you want something very oversized, which is my way to go. I love just like being draped in my fabric. You have a quote. I love that. I want to make it inclusive. I want to make it fun. And I want to make it so that, if someone's never sewn with their handwoven fabrics before, they feel motivated to continue doing it. Like, so that's the goal of that class. If anyone wants to tag along, there's still some spots open, I believe. So
see, I love that. And I want to make sure that we touch on really quick. You just did this great video all about your recap from 2025. Tell us, it was a good year, 2025, right?
It was a good year for weaving. And like, it's funny, like when you spend a year making stuff and then you look, December rolls around, you're like, what did I do last year?
Right.
Did I even really make anything? And so I decided to just like, because I saw all these other amazing creators making these like 2025 recap videos.
Yeah.
And I was like, what did I make in 2025? So I literally just like made a pile and I was like, oh, okay. I had a good year. That kind of inspired me wanting to make the video. I wanted it to just be like an opportunity to reflect, because a lot of what I made in 2025 were just like pure experiments. Like I just wanted to, I thought of an idea and a big what if, like what if I tried this? What if I tried that? And I would just pursue that thought. So 2025 is definitely my year of just playing and experimenting. I made this jacket. I also did some warp painting. I did some fresh leaf indigo dyeing. I did a full mohair silk project because everyone told me not to. And I was like,
you're like, nope, I got this.
I want to see. And I don't know. I really had a good time making that video and reflecting and setting some goals and intentions for the following year. And yeah, if you want to check it out and see what I'm all about, that's a really good way to kind of see what my style is. And
your style is fun and awesome, so everyone's good. Yes.
I love color.
Yes. Well, me too.
And a little glitter. Just a little.
Just a touch.
Just a touch.
A little taste. It's a little accent. There we go. Exactly. Well, you are amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been so much fun. Andrea and I were talking beforehand. I was like, we could talk for like 3 more hours.
I know.
we could have like the longest live at the loom ever, but we'll just bring you back sometime so that we can continue the conversation later.
I would love to come back anytime.
Excellent. you're on for sure. So everyone, please go check out Andrea and her YouTube channel. And if you're going to go to Convergence, or if you need a reason to go to Convergence, go take her classes. She would be awesome to work with.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a joy to meet your community.
Yes,
You're
we
doing
love you
amazing
right
things on the internet. So
yes, we love you right back. All right, my friend, we will talk very soon. Absolutely. Thank you for joining
thank
us.
you so much.
Appreciate it.